Welcome back, witches and wizards. I am very excited to have you here today as we discuss the Statute of Secrecy Task Force and what that will mean in Harry Potter Wizards Unite. If you're new here, I want to say a special thanks to you. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so that way you don't miss out on any of the news, tips, and tricks on all things Wizards Unite. Let's do this. Okay, so for those of you that are not familiar, there is an international body that oversees how magic is enforced throughout the world. So that would be above the ministries of magic, above the MACUSA, above all of those local governing bodies. There is an international confederation of wizards. And back in 1692, the law was enacted that stated there is an international statute of secrecy for wizards, or international statute of wizarding secrecy. Now, the Statute of Secrecy is something that was first established to protect the wizarding community, and there was a lot of persecution for those of you that are not particularly familiar with the wizarding history, and that is alright, I'm here to inform you. There was plenty of persecution for witches and wizards around Europe particularly, but there were some persecutions around the globe, and therefore there was something that needed to be done to protect the wizards, and particularly the young wizards and witches who did not necessarily have the ability to control or curb their magic at such a young age. So this law, which was first signed in 1689 and came into effect in 1692, in its original state is very simple, and it's that the local ministries have responsibility for the magical community and ensuring that they are not breaking the Statute of Secrecy and that they will be held liable. The ministry would be held liable for any of those breaches of knowledge or breaches of secrecy into the Muggle communities around them. But there are also clauses that are added on to that original law. So the 73rd clause of the Statute of Secrecy, it actually discusses the magical creatures that are found in the local communities, and that puts the ministry in charge of beasts, beings, and spirits that actually break the Statute of Secrecy. Now, this has caused a lot of problems for particular governing bodies, those that oversee what is known to many as the Loch Ness Monster, or to the Muggle community as the Loch Ness Monster, but to us as the magical community would identify as a Kelpie, and also some peculiar sightings of a Yeti up towards the Tibet region. Now, because of so many sightings of the Yeti out in Tibet, the International Confederation of Wizards has actually stationed an international task force dedicated to protecting the region and ensuring that Muggles are not aware of the magical beings in that region. So on December 6th of 1926, one of the most severe cases of the break in the International Statute of Secrecy was reported by the New York Ghost, which is the wizarding newspaper in the United States of America. Now, this actually went into the threat clock, which is at the MACUSA headquarters, that reached a severe, and it was then that it was declared that the wizarding world was at risk of being exposed. Sound familiar to anyone? In the paper the next day, there was a report that MACUSA was working with the International Confederation of Wizards to help protect against illegal wizards in the area, as this has been referred to as the Grindelwald exposure. And Grindelwald was actually found later that month in December of 1926. Now, Grindelwald did not agree with the Statute of Secrecy. He was very much in line with some other wizards that were not as popular but definitely had their voices heard, that discussed the concerns that the Statute of Secrecy was not necessarily helping the wizarding community, but was instead there to protect Muggles and no-mages alike. Now, that's a quick history of where the Statute of Secrecy came from and what we have learned so far about this. But what I would say further is that it seems like the risk of the wizarding world being exposed is here yet again. Yes, it is 2019, and we are still at risk of being exposed as the threat clock is moving increasingly quickly towards the severe category. So, today that means that you should be joining the SOS Task Force. The Statute of Secrecy desperately needs you to ensure that they are not exposing the Muggle world to our wizarding ways. I trust you to go out, pick your favorite team of an Auror, a Magizoologist, or a Professor, or a mixture of the three to best protect the Statute of Secrecy, and that we do not risk extreme risk in our exposure level here. I thank you guys for being here. I hope you are very excited about Harry Potter Wizards Unite, and I hope to go out there and play with you. See you guys next time. Slither win, out.